The piston in cylinder 1 is completely gone. In this teardown, let's talk about a relatively newer Benda 700 engine. I've posted a video about the 700 engine before. Remember how the old oil strainer had melted back then? In this episode, let's see if there are any improvements in this engine. Looking inside the machine, the owner seems to have maintained it well. What's terrifying, however, is these fragments right here. At a glance, they're clearly from the piston. The piston has shattered. You can still see the coating on them. This makes the teardown quite interesting. As I always say, Benda's exterior design is indeed very good. In fact, their looks alone put them in the top 3 national sales. That is truly impressive. So is looks the primary factor when you buy a bike? Look at the clutch plates, there's almost no wear. These clutch plates, judging by the color, they should be XD. This bike uses a Changsheng clutch. For Changsheng's large displacement clutches, they usually use Japanese XD plates. I've introduced this engine before. It's a reverse-engineered Honda 650 engine. Regarding the market release date, to reverse-engineer the Honda 650, Tianjiang Kimotor came later. The owner really maintained this engine well. See, there's no sludge at all inside. Perfectly clean. So the owner's biggest question is, I did all the maintenance, so why did it fail? Look at this gasket. It's still aluminum, not upgraded to copper. I suggest to my fellow mechanics, replace the gasket every time you disassemble it. Otherwise, it's hard to get the proper torque on the bolts. The camshaft journals show no wear. The camshafts themselves also look fine. The exhaust cam is also in good shape. The cylinder head currently looks okay. But since the piston shattered like that, I'm worried the valve seats might be damaged. Let's check the cylinder head. 1 out of these 4 valves is broken. The other 3 might not be in great shape either. Fortunately, the valve seats are intact. We can regrind the valve seats, then lap the valves and it'll be usable. Of course, these 4 valves must be replaced. As for the rest, it's okay, but cylinder 2 isn't in the best condition either. Look at cylinder 1, the piston is completely gone. The connecting rod end is also deformed. This has a cast iron cylinder sleeve. Replacing the sleeve can fix the cylinder. Now look at cylinder 2. There's some surface rust on cylinder 2. Not a big deal. It's just that the combustion state in cylinder 2 wasn't great. Cylinders 3 and 4 seem normal. The usual carbon deposits are there. Looking further down, look, there's a hole in the crankcase. This hole was likely caused by piston fragments being jammed by the rod. The location of this hole is actually lucky. The owner won't have to replace the whole crankcase. We can just fix it with aluminum welding. If it were closer to the crankshaft journals, or where the 2 case halves meet, it would be much more troublesome. Welding aluminum in those areas could cause warping and ruin the mating surfaces, leading to oil leaks later on. Look inside the oil pan. Just a few small fragments. Where did the rest of the piston go? Here they are piece by piece. How exactly did this piston shatter? Could it have seized and smashed into the cylinder head? Let's look at the oil strainer. Now, this is an improved version. It didn't deform like the last one I saw. Wait, there's something else. Look at this. Even the piston pin is broken. As we all know, piston pins are incredibly strong. This is high-strength steel. To be honest, I'm quite surprised that this part broke. Let me ask my fellow mechanics, have any of you encountered a broken piston pin before? If you're watching this and like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I found the broken valve. It's right here. Splitting the crankcase. First, let's look at the main bearings. They don't look scored or damaged. Just some normal signs of wear. Only this spot needs some aluminum welding to fix. A piece of the piston crown fell out too, and there's more inside the case. Now we can basically put all the fragments back together. The piston rings are all broken as well. One good thing is the upper crankcase is fine. The other half of the piston crown is stuck right here in the crankshaft. I'll take it out later. It's a bit hard to reach in this position. Let's remove the crankshaft first. The transmission gears aren't damaged. That's good. Now let's examine the crankshaft. The connecting rods show no signs of discoloration from heat, so most likely the bearings didn't seize. Let's check the rod for cylinder 1. The rod is fine. The rod bearings don't look seized either. Just normal wear and tear. Checking the rod for cylinder 2, it's also good. Judging by the luster, the crank journal is fine too. The bearing shells are not scored. It uses aluminum-based bearings. That's just oil on top. The rods for cylinders 3 and 4, along with their bearings and the crank, are all fine. So it was strictly a piston issue. The crankshaft is in good shape. Usually, a spun bearing creates too much clearance between the rod and crank, causing the piston to hit the cylinder head. But here, the crankshaft is clearly fine. The other half of the piston fell out over here. Now the entire piston crown can be reconstructed. There's a scratch inside the cylinder bottom, but it doesn't matter. Since we're re-sleeving it, we can ignore that. Let's look at the pistons from the other cylinders. This is the piston from cylinder 4. The coating is peeling off. Look at the other side. The peeling area is even larger. This isn't just wear and tear, it's likely a manufacturing defect. Let's see who made these pistons. They are from Shandong Qufu Jinhuang. These pistons, I heard last year that their pistons supplied to a certain manufacturer had issues. Could it be Benda? The damage on cylinder 1 is the most extreme. Very unusual. Look at the piston for cylinder 3. The coating on cylinder 3 hasn't peeled. This one shows normal wear. Now, the piston for cylinder 2. Cylinder 2's piston also looks normal. The coating is intact. As for the cylinders, we just need to re-sleeve cylinder 1. That second cylinder looks okay. Just a bit of rust that can be honed out. Cylinder 3 is fine. Cylinder 4 is also fine. So, let's analyze this. How did this piston shatter? Later models of the Benda 700 seem to have switched to Jengting pistons. The replacement pistons I ordered for a Benda 700 last time were from Jengting, with micro-arc oxidation on the crown. The timing chain is still from DID. The timing gears aren't damaged. These gears are made by Chongqing Duobao. Let's use a dial indicator to check the crankshaft. It seems the crankshaft isn't bent. 0 runout. My gauge is working perfectly, so this engine is interesting. At first glance, it looked like fatal damage, but it actually missed all the vital parts. The crankcase can be patched. The valve seats can be repaired. Basically, replaced for valves. Install 1 new sleeve and 1 new piston. Done. I have to say, the owner is very lucky. Alright, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.